Right, I'm not going to be making any excuses, but I'm going to point out some facts, right? Louis van Gaal is a new manager this season. We're going through a new formation, new transition, okay? One of our available signings was playing against Burnley today when we drew 0-0. Obviously, I'm talking about that match primarily. But yeah, one of the signings was playing. Rojo wasn't, he hasn't got his work permit. Herrera wasn't. Carrick's injured, obviously he isn't a new signing. Shaw isn't, and Blind we've just signed. So, the whole point of this transfer window was to buy players to improve our team. Those players aren't in the team. So basically, this team is a team with Di Maria added in, with the players that were there in Moyes' season that finished 7th last season. Therefore, you know, even though we should be picking up points against Burnley, Swansea and Sunderland, we've only picked up 2. But it's just the same team from last year. Herrera played once against Swansea. Shaw hasn't played yet. Rojo hasn't played. And now we've got Daley Blind. And Di Maria, first game in the Premier League. You know, it's not the end of the world. 3 games in. Yes, I was hoping for a win. Yes, I was hoping for more points. But we've got 35 games more. We've got an international break where more of our players, or key players, will return and are new signings that are supposed to be turning this team around. How can they turn it around if they're not playing? You know, this new 3-5-2, I think we should ditch it just because we do not have the defensive qualities to play 3 at the back. I'm sorry, the defence was wank there. Evans gave the ball away at least 3 times. Jones was shaky. Blackett is young and he was good, but he's not good enough to play in a 3 at the back system. Our attack looked really, really threatening. Di Maria had a great debut. He subbed off after 70 minutes because he had a little bit of cramp. You know, and then Mata went off with a hamstring injury. I really hope that's not long term. God, another injury. That's 11 currently. But yeah, Di Maria subbed off for Anderson at 70 minutes. But a great ball, like a stunning ball, straight to RVP, and he was unlucky not to score. Credit to Burnley, they played very well. But like Swansea and like Sunderland, you know, they had men behind the ball, and we need to utilise the wings more. That's why this system isn't working, in my opinion. We just don't have the pace. Even with Di Maria there, he can't be expected to do everything on his own. We've got the new signings in, which should help, but a 4-3-3 is a no-brainer. Like, the fans are screaming out for it. I trust Louis van Gaal, and if he really thinks 3-5-2 will pull us through, I'll trust him. But personally, David De Gea in net, Rojo if he can get his work permit, with Jones as the other centre-back, or maybe put Jones to right-back and have... Well, to be honest, no. Keep Jones there, have Raphael at the right back, and have Shaw on the left when everyone's fit. Play Herrera and Blind as CDMs, then have Mata as the cam, with Di Maria on the right, Rooney on the left, Van Persie up front. And then we've got other players coming in, maybe. We've obviously got the subs, such as like Welbeck if he stays, Januzaj, etc. Got all these players. But yeah, against Burnley, it just wasn't good enough. Burnley created a few chances. The free kick in the first minute where they hit the ball was the best chance they had. Well, they had a fair few, but you know, they just couldn't score, and that's been the problem for their season so far, as well as ours. We just can't take our chances. We had a couple, but nothing nothing outstanding, nothing brilliant. 0-0. It was such a shit game again. Honestly, the defense just can't control the ball. They're so nervy. When they've got the ball, they pass it sideways or they pass it backwards. De Gea, again, is getting far too many touches on the ball. He's expected to clear a lot of our defenders out of a bad position by passing it back to De Gea. They're expecting him to boot it outfield and get rid of the ball instead of passing it to feet and actually finding people, making runs, getting the space, playing it on the wings. You know, it was far too central, far too congested in the midfield. It was so annoying. We just couldn't break them down. And hopefully this international break will allow some of our injured signings to come back into the team. Di Maria to get used to it, Rojo to get his permit, Herrera to come back from injury, Shaw to come back from injury. The only person that looks as though he's injured long term is Carrick. From what I know, obviously it's hard getting the medical records and shit like that because clubs don't like to disclose exactly how long a player's out because they don't know themselves. They just give rough estimates. So from what I've heard, I think Carrick is the only main player that you could call a main player that is long-term, that has a long-term injury. So we should be fine after the international break. But, you know, we need to string some wins together. The next 3 games, again, look easy on paper, but as we're proving, nothing's easy for us at the minute. But, you know, if we can get the wins there, then we go to Everton, maybe with a bit of confidence. And then we've got a really, really hard spell. We've got Chelsea, we've got City, then we've got Palace, then Arsenal. Those 4 games are going to be critical in our season. If we can get 9 points, that would be insane. And I know that's asking a lot given the current performances, but even 7 would be decent. And, you know, we just need to start picking up points. We need to start getting used to the system, getting our signings in, start playing. 2 more days of the transfer window. You never know, we might get more signings in. All I'm saying to Manchester United fans is remember, we're not playing any of our signings. This is a United team that finished 7th last season, basically. Di Maria, 70 minutes. Herrera, 90 minutes in the first 3 games. No one else. So, you know, things will get better, and that's all we can hope for. Well done, Burnley. Good result, but disappointing for Manchester United.